welcome back to another episode of Out of the Park Baseball 22 with the Detroit Tigers. And guys, what did I do? You can see our standings. You can see our record through the first month of the season that I simmed offline. And there are no words to describe what the month of April looked like in 2024 for the Detroit Tigers. You read that correctly. That does say 20-3 through the first 23 games of the month. Yeah, and it's even better than that. If you look at our schedule in April, we lost two of our first. We were 2-2 after 4 games. We lost on opening day to the Twins, then we beat the Twins, then we beat the Twins, and we lost game 1 to Kansas City. And since that point, we have won 18 of our last 19 ball games, and our one loss was an 11-inning loss to the Cubs. So, yeah, we're 20-3. We have an 8-game lead on Kansas City at the end of April. Jung-Ho Lee leads the American League in hitting. We'll show you all the team stats here in a minute, but he has only not gotten a hit. He's played in 22 games, and he's only not gotten a hit 3 times this season. So he's hit in 19 out of the 22 big league games he's played in this season. We're 20-3. So let's just quickly look at our stats, look at how things are going, and we'll see if we can keep this up. So we'll start with pitching. And it's all good. I mean, literally, it's all good. Junior Fernandez has 11 saves and 14 opportunities, 19 strikeouts to only 1 walk, a .67 ERA. Our closer has got is almost worth a full win through the first month. Tariq Skubal continues where he picked up last year, or where he left off last year, 40 strikeouts and only 9 walks in 31 innings. 158 ERA plus, 2.9 ERA. Matt Manning, we put him back in the rotation. He stayed healthy and been great, only giving up 19 hits in 30 innings. 2.37 ERA. Zach Pop has literally been perfect. No runs in 9 1/3 innings. He's 2-0, got a couple saves, couple holds, 12 strikeouts. Cleonel Perez has been just as good as he was last year. 1 earned run in 13 innings, a .67 ERA. Casey Mize has been really good. He's 3-0, 32 strikeouts in 30 innings. Opponents are only hitting .204 against him. Luis Castillo got hurt, but, I mean, look at this. Through 3 starts, 1 run in 15 innings for our number 5 starter, a .60 ERA. And it just continues. Zach Hess has been really, really good. Only 2 runs in 9 innings. Will Crow's only got up 3 in 10. Brett DeGauss has struggled. He's really been the only pitcher who's had a rough go of it. And if you look at his FIP compared to his ERA, it looks like 1 bad game. Got 2.76 FIP, 11 strikeouts to only 1 walk. He's just giving up too many hits. Brendan Little has been okay in a long roll. Matt Foster hasn't pitched much. And Colt Mahoney's the only one who's really struggled. And even he hasn't been terrible. I guess he hasn't been great. 6 home runs in 28 innings isn't good. But and we have Jack Flaherty on the horizon. He'll be back in 5 weeks. So we get him back at the beginning of July, and he'll slide into the starting lineup or starting rotation. A lineup, still just as good. Byron Buxton having a great contract year, 1.2 WAR in the first month, 6 homers, 15 RBIs. Talked about Lee, 5 home runs, 13 RBIs. 1045 OPS, 180 OPS plus. He's been great. Parker Meadows is following up his Rookie of the Year campaign with another solid season. Averages up, on base percentage is up. Colton Welker is hitting the snot out of the baseball, 377, 1049 on base percentage. Christian Arroyo continues to hit well. Lou, who was our other international signee, average is a little light, which is to be expected, but he's still putting up almost an 800 OPS. He's walked 14 times in 22 games, showing some power, 4 home runs, 3 doubles, 2 triples. Carson Kelly playing good defense. Brigman has done really well in a backup role for Marcelo Meyer, who struggled a bit with the bat, but he's still a plus WAR because he's doing pretty well defensively. And then Spencer Torkelson down a little bit, but home runs and RBIs are right, kind of in line with where we want them. So it's been great. I don't really know what else to say. We're hitting, we're pitching, we're fielding. and we have the best record in baseball by a significant margin. Lee leads the majors in batting and in on base in OPS. Manning is third in ERA. Skubal third in wins. Fernandez and Skubal are 1-3 in WAR. Fernandez leads the league. Leads the league in saves by by more than a 2-to-1 ratio over the National League. Top three hitters are all Chicago Cubs, and yet they're 11-12. Mondesi, Victor Reyes, and Anthony Rizzo 1, 2, 3 in hitting. Mookie Betts with 10 home runs through 1 month. Lindor 24 knocked in. Rizzo leads in OPS. Braxton Garrett got off to a really hot start for Miami with a .78 ERA. Alcantara, Dustin May, and Sagano lead the league in wins. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say other than it's been a fabulous month. So, I think the plan is to get up to July 1st in this episode. So, I think what I'm going to do is sim the month of May. We'll keep an eye on things. No reason to make any changes right now. We'll sim through the month of May, get up to July 1st. And then at that point, see if there's anything we potentially want to add to the roster. We don't have a lot of money. In fact, I don't think we have any. We don't have any, but fans are coming out, so hopefully that will change some things as we move forward. From a contract perspective, you can see we're pretty much in line next year with where we are right now, but that includes losing Buxton and Kelly, so a lot of these players are getting bumps. You can see arbitration is gonna be an issue this offseason. Zach Pop wants over 5, Skubal wants about 5, Perez and Vest both want 2.5 to 3. Torkelson and Welker are both ARB eligible, so we're going to have some money we're going to have to spend here over the next couple of years, but we're 20-3 right now, so I'm going to go ahead and sim through May. When we come back, it'll be June 1st, and we'll stop and sort of recap and figure out what we need to do. So I'll be right back. All right, we're back on June 1st, and you can see it was I didn't expect us to be 20-3 again in May. We went 16-12 in May, so we are 36-15 through 2 months of the season. A couple of bumps along the road. Number one, we lost Matt Manning again to injury, so he'll be out through July, August. We may get him back right around postseason, but I think his days are. Unfortunately, I think his days with us are numbered. That's 2 major injuries 2 years in a row. Torn labrum last season and a torn labrum this season. So he's torn it now twice. We get Jack Flaherty back in 3 days. And Michael Ciani's currently got a pending diagnosis, so we'll see what happens there. You can see offensively, we're one of the top teams in baseball. Pitching-wise, our bullpen has been outstanding. Our starters have been just okay. And that's, we had a rough month, frankly, with our starters. With the exception of Casey Mize, everyone was pretty bad. Our offense picked it up, though. So hopefully once we get Flaherty in there, we can sort of even things out here a little bit. We have to put Vest in as a middle reliever. DeGauss will be long relief. I'm pretty much done with him too. So yeah, if we look at pitching stats, Fernandez and Skubal. Tariq had one. I guess he's had back-to-back bad starts, but you can see his ERA until his start here on the 24th was hovering right around 3, but he's lost 3 starts in a row. His last 2 have not been great, but he still put up 1.3 WAR. Casey Mize is 7-1, which is a far cry from his 5-11 last season. He's on pace for a 22-win season. Thankfully, our bullpen has just been absolutely lights out. We may consider putting Perez back in the rotation if Little and or Mahoney aren't able to, or Castillo for that matter, aren't able to turn things around here a little bit. Our bullpen is so stacked that it really wouldn't hurt us to put Perez in the rotation, so that's a possibility. Yeah, I'm not going to go. I literally just did this, so I'm not going to go player by player, but you can kind of pause it here if you want to. 17 saves for Fernandez already. Offensively, things have amped up a bit. Buxton has continued his hot hitting, 2.5 WAR, playing elite defense. Lou had just a fantastic month of May. You can see here 316, 476, 653 in May. Knocked in 24 runs in 26 games. Parker Meadows continues to hit well. Colton Welker continues to hit well. Jung Hoo Lee's average has dropped, but he's still close to a 900 OPS, so I'll take it. Marcelo Myers really struggling with the bat, 195, but that defense is still good enough to keep him in the lineup, considering how well we're doing. And Brigman actually is hitting the ball pretty well, so if we need somebody who can hit late innings for a shortstop, we can always bring in Brigman, and he won't embarrass himself in the field either. So what does that mean? So if we look, actually, I think, do we want to look at anything here? No. Let's look at our prospects before we go any further. So Elijah Green is started this season in A-ball, which is where he finished last season. Excuse me. Got off to a bit of a rough start, but the talent is still there. He's down to 4 stars, which is a bit disconcerting, but power, contact, gap is all still there. So it looks like he's going to be a good defense, high power type outfielder, which obviously has value. Pipeline for the Tigers. Zarate's still in the minor in the international complex. Collier still in rookie ball. None of these guys have really gotten any play yet. Will Sanders has improved, which is nice. He's up to 3.5 star. He's in Double-A right now. He probably won't be there very long. He'll probably be. I'll probably leave him in Double-A until July 1st and then call him up to Triple-A, and then he'll be on our roster next season. So awesome second-round pick for us just a year ago. Braylon Bishop is in A-ball, gotten off to a pretty hot start there. We'll leave him there. Anybody else we're overly concerned about? Chase Mako is in rookie ball still. So that's our prospect look. Obviously, Lou and Lee are both in the majors, so you've already looked at them, as is Meyer. So what do we need? We need pitching, right? I think we need to go after a starting pitcher is kind of the plan here. Now, we don't have a lot of money. We don't really have any money. So how we're going to do that is going to be interesting. Excuse me. Ooh, excuse me. But we need a starting pitcher. And if we look at our salaries, where can we move on from and feel comfortable? I think we can clear Goodrum off our books. Not that anybody's going to want him, but the issue is that we're going to have to give up major league talent in order to bring in a starting pitcher. And I'm not prepared to give any of these players up right now. At least none of these top 6 or 7, and these are the ones that people are going to want. I'd give up Goodrum. I'd entertain moving someone like Zach Pop, Will Vest, that sort of thing. But what sort of return can we get? So let's look at the trade block. Adrian Hauser's on there. He's a ground ball pitcher. He's only making 1.7, so that's a possibility. I like the bullpen guy. Patrick Corbin is no good in this playthrough. Marquez is making a lot of money. Jimmy Nelson, not making much. He's a ground ball pitcher. Lost 20 games last season for Arizona. Has looked pretty sharp with Pittsburgh this season. So I think those are the types of targets we want to look at. Hauser strikes out more, better stamina. Let's see if we can potentially pick up Hauser for one of our bullpen pieces. You guys would have to retain, obviously. Wow, okay, so you would just take that and you would eat his entire contract. Okay. DeGauss has not been good for us. He wasn't good for us this year. Let's see. If you're willing to do that, are you willing to do this? You are. Okay. I don't want to give up Crow. Well, I don't really care. I mean, he's a fly ball pitcher. He's 29. He's actually pitched pretty well this year, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to bring in Adrian Hauser, and that immediately, let's stick him there. And we're going to replace Hauser with Little. We'll make Little our long relief emergency starting pitcher. And once we get Flaherty back, we'll identify which of these players to put into the bullpen. And I wonder. Yeah, it's the contract. So if we ask them to retain, really, okay, that doesn't make any sense. What if we did that? Okay, so the game values Jimmy Nelson more than Adrian Hauser, which is fine. I value Hauser more because his control is a little bit better. 2 good pitches. He's a ground ball pitcher. He's been okay with Milwaukee. Hasn't been great, but hopefully he can be an improvement. And I guess Nelson probably is a better pitcher. He's listed as a starter. He's got better stuff as a starter than Hauser does. Yeah, I guess he is a better pitcher. So that's not a surprise, but I just want to see. And I'm not going to, you guys know I'm not going to sit here and go through all this, but now they really like him. As I just throw prospects at them, they don't appear to be interested in. Yeah, okay. Well, that's fine. All right, so let's sim ahead now to the draft pool announcement, and we'll take a look at that, and then we'll go to July 1st, and we'll call it an episode. So I'll be back in a moment. All right, we're back on June 11th. We're 43-16, 8.5 games up. It's been a decent start to the month. You can see how decent it's been, really good. So 7-1 here in the month of June, including an 18-6 win. The only thing that's going to hold us back is injuries, and I'll show you what's going on with the injury bug here in just a minute. But Castillo picks up the win. Lou hits 2 home runs. So yeah, the injury bug has hit us relatively hard. You know about Manning. You know about Ciani. Perez is day-to-day for 2 weeks. We lost Buxton for a month. We lost Will Vest for 1 to 2 weeks. So it has been a rough go injury-wise. Adrian Hauser has been really good in his 2 starts. He pitched 6 1/3, a 1-hit baseball in his first start. And in his second start, he went 7 1/3, giving up only 2. We do have Jack Flaherty back. He's rehabbing right now. I figure there's no reason to rush him. He's made 1 start. We'll let him get a second start in here, and then we'll probably call him up after that. With the lead that we have and how well we're playing, there's no reason to push things. And we did make a deal in those 11 days. Christian Arroyo wins the AL Player of the Week. Good for him. We did make a deal. We moved Brett DeGauss. We were going to send him down, but he was out of options, and I figured as a 3.5-star bullpen guy, he would get claimed. So we'll go to logs, and you can see we traded Brett DeGauss to the Seattle Mariners for 2 minor league pitchers, Adam Hill and Ryan Rollison. So DeGauss, good stuff, good movement, 3 decent pitches. Just wasn't able to put it together for us this year. Gave up 23 runs in 24 2/3 innings. He was better last year, but limited playing time. And in return, we pick up Adam Hill, who is a starter. 3 excellent pitches, good stuff, good movement. Control, obviously, is what's keeping him back. But, absolutely organizational depth at starting pitching if we need somebody. And then Ryan Rollison, another bullpen guy, a high leader, high loyalty, high work ethic, 3 good pitches, still developing his stuff there. And we had to call him up because, again, he is out of options, but we'll see what we'll do with him once it's time to bring Flaherty back. So, yeah, we are 43-16 right now. Things are looking really good, even with the injuries. So, let's what do we want to look at? We want to look at draft pool. So let's look at the rookie draft. We are picking 27th. And before we look at the pool, let's look at the mock draft. They have us taking Eric McIntyre, shortstop. Not great control, good gap power, good home run power, decent discipline, good avoid K. Looks like he can play multiple positions. Very, very good defensively. It's not a bad option. We don't have a comp pick, no. All right, so let's look at the draft pool. Lot of good. Look at that. There's 2 5-star starters. Obviously, we won't get either of them, but there's a ton of starting pitching in this draft. That we might go with a starting pitcher just because there are so many of them. Pitching potential. Yeah, there are a lot of good starters. Even if we land somewhere in here, like with a Dave Nugent, I would be completely okay with that. Yeah, there are, there are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 3-star or higher starting pitchers. There are a couple of really good bats, and then goes downhill from there. But if someone like Chad May would fall to us, I would be okay with that too. It looks like we're going to have plenty of options come draft time to pick up an impact player. So let's see. Anything else we want to take a look at before we move forward? I don't think so. I think I want to just keep simming along here. So I'm going to keep going. Elijah Green, that bat, man. Come on, start swinging a hotter bat. That's not good. I'm going to keep simming ahead. We'll get to July 1st. We'll recap the team, recap the league. We'll look at league leaders and stuff, and we'll call it an episode. So I'll be back on July 1st. Hang tight. All right, it's Monday, July 1st, and we are 53-24. We are 12 and a half games up in the AL Central. At 53-24, we don't even have the best record in the American League, let alone the majors. The Dodgers are 55-23, and the Angels 56-22 on the season. They added Manny Machado and Donovan Solano. I guess Solano was on the team last year, but they added Machado. They added Austin Meadows too, huh? Yeah, that lineup is fearsome, to say the least. Their pitching staff, I think, is gettable, but that offense is ferocious. But you worry about your own house first, and we are 53-24, 12 games up in the Central. Rosario, Jimenez, and Verdugo, top 3 in batting in the AL. CJ Abrams, Segura, and Ronnie Mauricio, top 3 in the National League. Trout, Alvarez, and Jimenez, top 3 in home runs in the American League. Bellinger, Hunter Renfroe with Atlanta, and Joey Gallo in Cincinnati. Oh, Cincinnati's got both Gallo and Lindor in this playthrough. Trout leads in OPS. Hunter Renfroe leads the National League in OPS. He's having quite a season in right field for the Braves. Pitching-wise, Shane McClanahan leads in ERA. Zapuki leads in ERA in the National League. Casey Mize tied for the American League lead in wins. Tariq Skubal, the top pitcher in WAR in the American League, tied for second in all of baseball. Junior Fernandez leads the NL or the AL in saves. So we had to make another deal due to some injury issues. We talked about Buxton. We also lost Dominic Fletcher, who we called up after Siani got hurt. So we're down three of our depth outfielders. So we made a move for Mike Yastrzemski from the San Francisco Giants. You can see he struggled so far. 1 home run, 3 for his first 21. Still can hit against righties really, really well. It's a bit of a liability against lefties, but against righties, he can rake. And we didn't have to give up a ton. We gave up a couple of depth pitchers. We gave up Jimmy Lambert, Zach Lothar, and 23-year-old Jose Pena. Lambert was really good last year, 7-2, 2.91 in 29 games. Got hurt part of the way through the season, had struggled so far this year in AAA. Lothar was behind Lambert in kind of the pecking order, so he didn't pitch much last year for us. Was pretty good this year in AAA. Both of those pitchers are on the Giants roster right now, and then Jose Pena is a 1.5-star 23-year-old. And in return, we get Mike Yastrzemski, who will play actually left field for us right now until we can get healthy. He's captain, which is nice as well. He's arbitration eligible. He's making a lot of money. It's very, very likely that we will just non-tender him once we hit the offseason, or see if we can move him for something once the season ends. So that was the deal we made. Let's look at our stats. So we did call up Jack Flaherty. Struggled a little bit, as to be expected, through his first 2 starts. 3 runs and 6 in his first, and then 5 and 5 in his second. He'll be fine. Just has to work some of that rust off. It's been a year since he's pitched. If we look at pitching stats, and there's another change on the horizon, and I guess I'll just show you that now. So Will Sanders has gotten even better. He's 3-0 in 4 starts in AAA with a 1.90 ERA, 25 strikeouts against only 5 walks in AAA. So he won't be in AAA very long. He will be up with the big club before too long. We are stacked with bullpen and pitching arms in AAA, so we're in pretty good shape there. Elijah Green's starting to hit, which is nice, up to 2 home runs, 25 knocked in, 672 OPS. We're going to leave him in low A ball for now until he has mastered it, and we will call him up. So, all right, now let's look at pitching. So Skubal 7-6 with a 3.98. The FIP is 3.25. He's 1.19 ERA plus. He's pitching just fine. Walking a few too many, 3.2 per 9, but combating that by only giving up 6 home runs in 92 innings. So Tariq Skubal continues to pitch really, really well. Junior Fernandez has just been unhittable. 23 saves. He's 3-0, a .55 ERA, 45 strikeouts to only 5 walks, only given up 17 hits in 32 innings. He has been lights out. He and Perez have been a dominant 1-2 combination for us at the back end of our bullpen. Casey Mize, 10-2 on the season, 3.55 ERA, 95 strikeouts, given up a few too many home runs, 1.5 per 9, but I'll take those numbers any day of the week. Adrian Hauser has come on and done a pretty good job. He is 2-2 with us with a 4.36. I don't know if he's going to stay in the rotation, but so far he's pitched well. We moved Mahoney to the bullpen. Has only gotten a couple of outings. He gave up 3 runs and 6 hits in 2/3 of an inning in his first outing as a bullpen guy, but then pitched 2 shutout innings in his second. So he's probably fine there. Pop and Hess have both been really, really good. Castillo 7-4 with a 5.03. He's starting to slip. He's down to 2 stars. He probably isn't long for the rotation. He's probably the one who gets replaced when we call up our prospect. Crow and Little's been fine in the bullpen. Wasn't great as a starting pitcher, but as a bullpen arm, he has been just fine for us. His stuff plays better in the bullpen. I talked about Flaherty, and then Rolison has been okay, actually. You look at his numbers for us, 10 strikeouts and 11 in a 3rd inning. So pitching still continues to do well. Our offense has scuffled a bit, but that's what happens when you suffer the number of injuries that we've suffered. Lou is our top WAR guy, which is a bit unexpected. The 25-year-old his contact has gotten even better as the season has gone on. He's going to be an absolute monster going forward. 19 home runs, 48 RBIs, has walked 45 times, 904 OPS, and that BABIP is really low, so watch out when that BABIP gets up to about 300. Torkelson has come on really, really strong over the last month or so. 269 in May, but 337 in June with 8 home runs, 22 knocked in for Torque. Christian Arroyo just continues to mash as a second baseman. This was, I think, the best trade we've made so far, picking up Christian Arroyo on pace for 25 home runs, 86 knocked in, 4.2 WAR while playing good defense. Parker Meadows, a lot of his WAR is derived from his defense. As a bat, has struggled a little bit this season. Same with Carson Kelly. His bat's been fine, 825 OPS actually, so I take that back. Colton Welker continues to absolutely mash in the opportunities he gets. 928 OPS. Ali Sanchez doing Ali Sanchez things. Jung-Hoo Lee, the average has slipped a bit. That's a bit surprising. I expected him to be 310, 320s at 297 right now. But 350 and 466, he'll be just fine. We had to call up Daz Cameron due to injuries, and he's acclimated himself quite nicely, actually, in limited playing time. Brigman, doing backup infielder things. And Marcelo Meyer is really struggling. His numbers did just recently jump, so I'm hopeful that he can turn it around here and that he doesn't end up hitting 180. But if he can get that average up to 230, 240 and play good defense, I'll be satisfied with that, I guess. Nico Goodrum continues to struggle with the bat. He's even worse this year than he was last year. But he's a leader and he can play multiple positions, so we go with it. So that is that. We're 53 and 24, 12 games up. Let's quickly look at the international amateurs before we make a move. Looks like we got a couple of really solid bats and one decent pitcher. I think Jordan Castro is the obvious go after right here. But we'll talk more about that in the next episode. So that will do it for this episode. Next episode will be kind of that July episode where we do the international free agents, we do the first-year player draft, and we do the trade deadline. So what do you guys think our needs are? What we have. What do you think we need? My thought is maybe another starting pitcher wouldn't hurt. If we can go into the postseason with Mize, Skubal, Flaherty, and another potential starting pitcher, maybe that's enough to push us over the edge. Is Will Sanders that guy? Or do we hold, our bullpen is fine, so I don't think we need anything there. I'm thinking either a starting pitcher or a shortstop who can hit, and that gives Marcelo Meyer an opportunity to sort of take a back seat this year and play more of a backup role. Those are my two. That's where I'm leaning, but I want to know what you guys think. So we'll talk more about it in the next episode. And until then, everybody take care. Bye-bye.